Hey, what's up Solo Leveling Arise fans? Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things solo leveling. Today, we're diving deep into the world of hunters, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. With a whopping 26 hunters and counting, each rocking their own unique skills, weapons, and passive abilities, it can be a bit overwhelming to figure out who's worth your time and resources. But don't worry, I've got your back. Whether you're on the hunt for a hunter to back up our boy Jinwoo, or you're looking for that perfect synergy with your summons, knowing which characters to invest in is crucial. In this video, we'll break down the ultimate hunter tier list, giving you the lowdown on who to level up and who to leave in the dust. So, grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Solo Leveling Arise. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Jo Kyo-won and Song Chi-woo. Alright, let's dive into the not so hot picks of solo leveling. Arise, starting with Jo Kyo-won. Now, I get it, sometimes you're scraping the bottom of the barrel and Jo Kyo-won might seem like your only option, but let's be real, this guy's about as exciting as a wet matchstick. His damage is nothing to write home about, and apart from his burn effects, which tick away at enemies, there's not much going on here. If Jo Kyo-won is on your team, it's probably because he's the only hunter you've unlocked so far. And trust me, you're going to want to swap him out as soon as you can. Then we have Song Chi-woo, the guy you get handed in story mode. He's not terrible, especially in those early missions where you're just trying to stay alive. His Hellfire skill? Pretty decent for crowd control, and those burn effects can chip away at the enemy's health over time. But let's face it, Chi-woo's going to get overshadowed pretty quickly by the more powerful hunters. Still, if you're hanging on to him for a while, make sure you grab some data cards to keep him somewhat relevant. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Han Song-yi, Lee Ju-hee, and Park Byom-sik. Alright, let's dive into the C-tier hunters of solo leveling, Arise. First up, we've got Han Song-yi. Now, despite her being one of the most relatable characters, especially if you're familiar with her manhwa and her anime origins, she doesn't quite cut it against the big league hunters. Sure, Han Song-yi has her moments with some nifty poison effects and a unique umbral weapon mechanic for self-buffs, not to mention her ultimate that can knock down opponents. But when it comes to holding her own in the heat of battle, she's definitely lagging behind. Next, let's chat about Lee Jo-hee. Oh boy, Lee Jo-hee is a tough one to place. She's like the ultimate support character who's always there with healing and buffs for the team, plus her ultimate brings full mana recovery to your squad. The thing is, while she's amazing at keeping her teammates in top shape, her damage output is pretty lackluster. So if you're looking for a hunter who can pack a punch and not just play cheerleader, Jo-hee might leave you wanting more. And finally, we've got Park Byom-sik. His passive ability, Father's Determination, is kind of his saving grace. When Byom-sik's HP drops below 30%, he gets to spam his spinning strike and boosts his attack speed and defense. Sounds cool, right? But here's the kicker. His HP is dangerously low, and his damage multipliers just don't hold up well against tougher foes. So, while Byom-sik has some interesting mechanics, he's more of a niche pick than a reliable option for most battles. The characters in this tier are in order from top left to bottom right, Kim Chol, Yoo Jin-ho, Hwang Dong-suk, and Anna Ruiz. Alright, let's dive into the B-tier hunters of solo leveling Arise. These guys might not be at the top of the tier list, but they definitely bring their own unique strengths to the battlefield. First up, we have Kim Chol, the quintessential tank. Slow moving, yes, but don't let that fool you. Kim Chol is a shield generating powerhouse. His Iron Will and Fierce Raw skills make him a top-notch SR breaker. Plus, with 2 stun abilities and his ultimate that creates a shield zone, he's all about keeping his team safe while dealing with those nasty hits. His shield zone not only protects everyone inside, but also reduces the damage they take. Talk about having your back covered. Next on our list is Yoo Jin-ho. He's one of the default hunters you get right off the bat, which is awesome for those just starting out or playing on a budget. Yoo Jin-ho is a solid choice for free-to-play players or anyone who doesn't have a ton of draw tickets. He can stun and send enemies airborne, making him a fantastic breaker. At his base level, Jinho boosts defense, self-heals, and aids his team's HP recovery. And when you advance him, he starts providing shields and attack increases for his teammates. Pretty sweet upgrade. Then there's Hwang Dong-suk, who punches well above his SR rank with a bit of investment. His Scorching Shield is a real highlight, delivering dark, elemental, and heavy break damage while hitting multiple targets. Dong-suk's passive is quite the utility tool, increasing his damage when he's above 75% HP and helping with HP recovery when he's below 50%. His ground smash and ultimate skill can stun enemies, making him a versatile breaker who can immobilize even the toughest monsters. Last but definitely not least, we have Ana Ruiz. This elite long-range hunter is a beast with her break potential and poison arrows. Ana excels at creating poisonous zones that deal damage over time, and her ultimate inflicts corrosive poison. This effect deals consistent break damage and adds extra damage equal to 10% of her attack every 3 seconds. She's also one of those SR hunters who really benefits from data cards, as advancing her can unlock additional status effects and boost her corrosive poison strength. So, there you have it. Our fantastic B-tier hunters, who might not always steal the spotlight but are certainly worthy of your attention and investment. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Baek Yeonwoo, Silver Mane, Kang Tae-sik, Nam Chae-young, Hwang Dong-soo, and Park Hee-jin. Alright, let's dive into the world of solo leveling Arise and talk about some of the standout A-tier hunters you'll definitely want in your squad. We're talking about characters that can shake things up and bring some serious firepower to your team. First up is Silver Mane Baek Yeonwoo, our berserker with a penchant for dramatic damage. This guy is a bit of a high-risk, high-reward character. His bleed damage can tear through even the toughest bosses, but here's the catch: his damage scales with his own HP. So, the lower his health, the stronger his attacks become. It's a bit like walking a tightrope, but if you've got some dodging skills or a healer on your team, Silver Mane can be a game changer. He's definitely not for the faint of heart. Next, we have Kang Tae-sik, who's kind of the underdog in the SR damage dealing world. With the right setup, he can actually go toe-to-toe with some SSR characters. His bleed effect, thanks to his passive and consecutive slicing skill, makes him a real threat. The bleed effect deals a percentage of his current HP every few seconds, which means he's constantly chipping away at enemies. Tae-sik's ability to maintain high damage output makes him a great addition to any team that needs a reliable DPS character. Moving on to Nam Chae-young, the SR hunter with an icy edge. Her freeze potential is top-notch, and her break ability is incredibly useful. Chae-young's passive increases damage to frozen targets by 20%, which synergizes perfectly with her freeze-inflicting skills. She might not have the highest damage output on her own, but her ability to set up enemies for stronger attacks from her teammates is invaluable. She's a master at crowd control and makes life much easier for those around her. Then we have Hwang Dong-soo, who's not just a wind-type powerhouse, but also a bit of a status effect specialist. His urge to kill skill is fantastic for dealing with bosses, as it can knock down opponents and strip away their shields. This makes him super effective against tough enemies. On top of that, Dong-soo can inflict stun, airborne, and knockdown, and he's got some self-shielding abilities to keep him in the fight. He's a versatile character who can handle various combat situations with ease. Last but not least is Park Hee-jin, a true utility queen with her Windblade skill. This ability boosts ultimate skill damage, helps the team recover power gauge, and clears debuffs, which is a huge plus. Hee-jin can also bring her ultimate skill into play faster because of her passive that reduces its cooldown. She's all about making sure her team is ready for action and can clear out any debuffs that might be holding them back. If you're looking for someone who can keep the momentum going and support your squad, Hee-jin is your go-to. So, there you have it. 5 amazing A-tier hunters who can seriously up your game in solo leveling Arise. Whether you're into dealing massive damage, freezing enemies, or supporting your team, these characters have got you covered. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more game breakdowns and tips. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Baek Yeonwoo, Min Byung-gu, Lee Bora, Lim Tae-gyu, Choi Jong-in, Emma Laurent, Yoo Soo-hyun, Mylin Fisher, Seo Ji-woo, and Woo Jin-chul. Alright, let's dive into the creme de la creme of solo leveling, Arise's S-tier hunters. If you're looking to boost your game, you're in for a treat with these top tier characters. First up, we've got Baek Yeonhu. Now, Yeonhu doesn't need a silver main to shine. He's already one of the best breakers in the game. This guy is perfect for taking on those boss level threats. With almost all of his skills geared towards breaking enemy defenses, he just becomes more lethal when you advance him. Plus, his damage scales with his defense, making him a tanky powerhouse. He even debuffs enemies, making them easier to take down. Next, let's talk about Min Byung-gu. If you're in need of a top-notch healer, Byung-gu is your go-to. He's right up there with Maylin Fisher and can heal your entire team for substantial amounts. Not only that, he boosts critical hit damage and makes enemies take more damage. While he may not outshine elite damage dealers like Cha Hae-in, Byung-gu holds his own and won't drag down your team's overall damage. Now, we can't forget Lee Bora, an elite dark mage who's perfect for teaming up with other hunters who use dark skills. Bora doesn't just deal great damage, she's also a fantastic support. Her enhancement circle boosts dark elemental damage for allies within it and cleanses debuffs. Her charm effect is a nice touch, increasing the damage enemies take, making her a versatile asset. Moving on to Lim Taegyu, the archer extraordinaire. Taegyu is a beast when it comes to long-range attacks. His ultimate, which lets loose 8 arrows, is perfect for taking down bosses and tanky foes. The only downside, his skills have a bit of a wind-up, so he might be vulnerable if he's swarmed by enemies. Choi Jong-in is another standout known for his incredible damage despite not inflicting critical hits. With impressive damage multipliers, a 40% attack buff passive, and the ability to burn enemies, Jong-in is a force to be reckoned with. His ultimate hits hard and even resets his skills, making him a top-tier offensive hunter. Emma Laurent might be a tank, but don't let that fool you. She packs a serious punch. Emma's a well-balanced hunter who delivers outstanding break, burn, and AoE damage. She also provides valuable buffs like HP recovery and defense penetration. And if you're lucky enough to get a duplicate, her burn-up skill's break damage gets a significant boost. Yoo Soo-hyun is your go-to on-field DPS. Her fire elemental damage and defense penetration scaling make her a flexible choice for any stage. Yoo Soo-hyun scales well with investment, making her a reliable pick even if your roster isn't fully developed. Let's not forget Maylin Fisher, who might be outshone by Min Byung-gu in terms of team-wide benefits, but still brings a lot to the table. Her Cuddle passive increases water damage, she can remove shields, and her ultimate features a giant astral cat belly flopping on enemies. Maylin is definitely a hunter you don't want to miss. Lastly, Seojiru brings something unique with her cooldown resets. Her training passive lets her reset cooldowns after using free skills, which means she can stay active on the field and keep providing value. Her break potential and ability to shield her team make her a solid addition to any squad. And there you have it, our top S-tier hunters in solo leveling, Arise. Each one of these hunters brings something special to the table, whether it's incredible damage, healing, or versatile support. So, make sure to get these top-tier hunters on your team and watch your gameplay reach new heights. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Cha Hae-in, Alicia Blanche, and Amamiya Miri. Alright, let's dive into the creme de la creme of hunters in solo leveling Arise. If you're looking to elevate your game, these S+ tier legends are where it's at. First up, we have Cha Hae-in, and let me tell you, this powerhouse is a force to be reckoned with. Imagine a damage dealer that not only shreds through opponents with insane DPS, but also stops them from healing. Yeah, Cha Hae-in is that and more. Her The Dancer effect ramps up your attack and critical hit damage to dizzying heights, and her brand effect ensures that your enemies are in for a world of hurt with increased chances of critical hits and amplified critical damage. It's like having a damage juggernaut that just keeps getting better. Then there's Alicia Blanche, who might as well be the queen of crowd control. She doesn't just bring top tier damage multipliers to the table, she can freeze enemies with a snap of her fingers. With 3 different freeze abilities and the option to create ice body armor shields, Alicia can not only put a stop to bosses mid-attack, but also give you that crucial edge in chaotic monster battles. It's crowd control and damage all rolled into one ice-cold package. And don't overlook Amamiya Miri, the wind assassin who's here to make waves, literally. Her burst DPS is perfect for speedrunning, and she brings a slew of free stats to the party. Sure, she's a bit pricey to fully unlock, and she's flying solo without a dedicated support, but her self-buffs and cleanse utility make her a top-tier choice for those who like their damage swift and impactful. So, whether you're melting foes with Alicia or slicing through them with Marie, these S+ tier hunters are sure to take your game to the next level. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.